He defined the 400 meters for a generation, overcoming injury and adversity to become Jamaica's first ever world champion. His legacy as a coach now inspires the next generation of athletes. But who is Bert Cameron beyond the track? I'm Archibald Gordon. This is Profile. Bert Cameron, welcome to Profile.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I am very, very happy to have you. You know, I was saying before when I was thinking about this program, that this time around when you tell me you went to the best school ever, I'll be able to say, yeah, because you're talking about St. Jago, but we will get to St. Jago a little later on in this program. For the moment, I want to give a little bit of a bullet point summary for the folks who may not be as familiar with your name. So born November 16, 1959 in St. Catherine, you grew up in Spanish Town in a poor family, a poor community as well, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Known for playful activities, but track and field, even before, has always been your life. You've had a real passion for that. Educated at Spanish Town Primary, Spanish Town Secondary, St. Jago High School, and of course excelled at every level, at boys champs, excelled at the NCAAs in the US, excelled at the world champs, excelled at the Olympics, and now having gone on to a life that involves coaching and mentoring a new generation of people. So a lot to cover in this two-part, and I want to start by talking about the very beginning of it, where you grew up, because you speak of where you grew up and the people that raised you and how that has kind of shaped your life. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah, I was born in Spanish Town Hospital. We grew up in a small but poor, very poor family, but it was like you grew up in a tenement yard where you have different mothers and fathers. But all the mothers and fathers there could beat any one of the children that are around if they do something wrong. And we moved to St. John's Road. And let me tell you something, that is when they had the lease land. You lease the land and you build on it. So when we started at St. John's Wood, she would make sure that she wash our clothes, she do every little thing, and she cook. She used to work in Spanish Town at those Chinese stores where she cook and clean for those folks. My father used to work at Bernal Lodge, cut cane. So you must know where I'm coming from. But we live decent. We live in a loving house. My mother, at that time, we don't understand poorness, yeah? We understand that we have to stay together because the people that are around us are bad people. Boys at my age, it's always fight and it's always jail and it's always police coming there to beat them and beat us. But I was always the coward one at St. John's Road. In that lane. I would spend most of my time walking in the back lane to go over to Willardine, because Willardine have the concrete house and the toilet inside there. I make friends over there.
And so you're talking here about this is the 1960s, 1970s.
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 Yes.
1970s.
Yes.
So you're also talking about a time when there was political violence, though that was not necessarily the reality of what was happening on St. John's Road where you came from. It says 81 St. John's Road, by the way.
Yes,
a particular lane. But you were also seeing violence.
Oh, every day. Every day. And what I do, I try to keep my family. If someone do something to me, I don't go back to my family and tell them anything because I don't want them to come out and do something because I know something bad probably will happen. So I respect these people out of fear. You understand? I would be around them because I fear them. And you don't want to stay away from them because they probably think that you're an informer or you're something else. So I would blend in a little bit, but I would never do the things that they're doing because that wasn't me.
And And part of that was just how your mother was growing up. All of you, and it's 4 of you, by the way.
Yes, 4 boys.
4 boys.
4 boys.
What was she saying in terms of saying, was she saying don't get involved in this? What was she saying? How was she setting that example?
What she does, she sends us to church. She's a Christian woman, and she just believed that God will save us. We must always do the right thing. And she always say, they didn't call me Bert, and they called me Carol, because she want a girl. I guess that's why she named me Carol. She said, Carol, do me, I beg you. You see, when you see how they so, no go. Just go on to school and come home. So I listened to that, I listened to that because what I saw with my mother and my father, they were always together. And my father he's quiet, but if you do his children anything, he will go and retaliate. So we kept that from them. But one thing that I do, because I know that's not the life that I want, I would build a little group together that I am the oldest one in. I remember my second was Larry. I can't forget Larry. Until today, Larry lives in Florida. Every little thing that I'm going to do, Larry's always there with me. And I always just boss him around and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But we stay out of trouble. And
you said part of what you were doing as you grow older, not just as a young child, but into your teenage as well, was to help gather food for your mom.
Oh, God, yes, man. They call me fisherman, they call me farmer, they call me everything. Because when I see how my mother go out there to work and to come home, I know that she's so tired. So I will go to the canal, not river, canal, and we would go under the rocks and take out the crawfish, and fish, put my hands on the water, and I would take as many as I could. And we would go home and we would clean the fish and everything and prepare the food for my mother. So when she comes home, she come and see her 2 little room clean and food ready for her. Sometimes it don't happen, so sometimes she come home and cook her dumpling and our saltfish, and we go to bed and feeling good. But we have to go to school. We have to go to school.
And school was kind of partly where that passion for track and field, I would say, have started, also outside of school. So, what exactly happened and how did Bert Cameron, start that journey to becoming Jamaica's first world champion, an Olympian, very accomplished member of the Jamaican society? We'll tell you a little bit more about the roots of that track and field journey, but we have to take our first break on Profile. I'm Archibald Gordon, and I'll see you right after these messages.